Full stop. Can't believe I live in your thoughts. I think about you all the time, morning, evening, and midnight. Such a wonderful delight. Forgo, give up everything that I own. Yeah, I'd give it all up now just to be with you somehow. Unexpected love was found. You're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say that I love you. Ooh, you, so slow. Hold you in my arms, won't let go. The world around could pass us by, a thunderstorm, a lightning strike, as we hold each other tight. You're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say that I love you. Ooh, you, You're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say,
Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I'm so happy to be here with you all and to celebrate the book birthday of The Cure for What Ails You. It's so pretty. I'm wearing my spring flower top to match, and you can't really see because of the light, but the tech guy made me hop earrings, which are so light and made of wood, so they can like do this fun little jingle. Yay! Thanks. It's actually a dress, Steph. If I stood up, you could see the whole thing, but you can't because then I will knock down my Mayfest pole that I crafted this afternoon, because really, who doesn't need a Mayfest pole in their office? We had to kick the cat out because 100% the pole would come toppling down on my head because the cat was so intrigued by the ribbon. I have a little leftover ribbon that is sitting on my desk, and all day today she was loving the ribbon. She thinks it is her own special toy. That new song was by Cody Francis, who we have heard many times for other songs. Rare Love is the one that I've used a lot of times, but this one was a little homage to the fact that we're going to talk about Mayfest, even though it's October and I have my October decorations up. This book is actually set during spring celebrations in Leavenworth, and because of that, it is so pretty, Carly, don't you think? Thank you. I can't take any credit for it because the cover design team does all the work at St. Martin's, but because of that, this song that we listened to tonight is A Rose in the Garden. Is that right? A Rose in the Garden, or A Rose in My Garden. I'll share it by Cody Francis. It's just beautiful. And, you know, we're talking flowers tonight. Love it. It's Mayfest in October. Why not? And we have so many giveaways planned for tonight. The tech guy has a special one in store. Do you want me to do that one first?
Yeah.
Okay. So whenever, well, you say, I have the prop for that.
Well, we happen to have a lot of copies of
Yeah, for some reason we have extra copies
of the Pint of No Return
in hardcover.
In hardcover,
which is awesome.
So but because that is book 2 in the series and book 5 just came out, I know some people might have it, some people might want it though.
Yeah.
So if you want to be entered into a drawing for a copy of that, we'll be giving some away. Just put "Give me a pint."
Give me a pint
in the comments.
Just say "Give me a pint."
Just comment with "Give me a pint," and I'll have my randomizer pick some people throughout the night. We'll be giving away other stuff too, but that if you want a copy of the Pint of No Return, a signed copy, put "Give me a pint" in the comments.
Anytime, right? They can do it right now.
Yeah, they could do it right now. Anytime throughout the show. Yeah.
Give me a pint. I love it.
So wait, somebody commented that there was an echo. Is there
an echo?
Is there a problem with the sound?
Microphone on late, so there could be something with that.
Whoa, there's a lot of "Give me a pint."
Give me a pint.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. What if I make it into? No, I'm just kidding. I was going to say, what if I have to take a sip every time? That's like some bad college drinking.
Yeah.
I can barely, let's be honest, get through a half a pint without feeling a little like.
That's a whole different kind of live stream.
That's not us. Oh, that's a little hilarious. Sound are good here. I'm not hearing an echo. Okay. I hear you loud and clear, says Janet. Okay, good.
Cool.
Good.
All right.
Okay, we have so much to discuss tonight on top of having pints. So this is book 5 in the Sloane Kraus Mysteries. If you're unfamiliar with this series, the first book, Death on Tap, introduces head brewer Sloane Kraus, who works at a family-run business in Leavenworth. And that's how we got a flashback into Ellie's college days, right? I know. I enjoy, it's funny. Minus maybe, even sweets. Like if I make a batch of cookies, I will enjoy a cookie or two right when I bake them. But I'm really pretty picky about then. I like something that's like hot from the oven or really fresh, so I don't tend to eat them after that. But the same is actually true for like coffee. I know you might not believe this because in the Bake Shop Mysteries, Jules is slugging coffee all day. I really don't. I have like half calf in the morning and that's about it. And the same is true for alcohol for me. Like one drink and I'm good. So I don't know how Sloane can have all those beer tastes throughout the day. But yes, if we wanted to have a totally different live, I would have a sip every time. No, I'm not really. Okay, I digress. In Death on Tap, we meet Sloane Kraus. She is working for her husband Garrett's family business, Der Keller, which is a German brewery in Leavenworth, Washington. For anyone who is new to the series too, Leavenworth, like Ashland, is a real place. It's beautiful. It is known as the Alps of Washington. It's tucked into the Northern Cascades. It is a perfect German village that went through a revitalization in the 1960s. The town had been kind of dying off and it went through a whole revamp. There might be some trivia tonight, so I hope you're paying attention. Hint, hint, hint. And in book 1, we meet Sloane and Garrett and the Kraus family, Otto and Ursula, who are a sweet German couple, and Hans, her brother-in-law. And we learned right away that, did I say Garrett? I meant Mac. I'm already ahead of myself. Yeah. Look at that. Mac, she goes to work for Garrett Strong, who owns Nitro. She finds that Mac has not been so great to her, and so she leaves to work on a startup. So that's kind of how the series launches. Throughout the course of the whole series, Sloane has also had this secondary story of searching for the truth about her past. She grew up in the foster care system, so she's been trying to find answers to her mysterious past and who her real parents are, if they're alive, etc., etc. Book 5, The Cure for What Ails You, which is out today, takes place at Mayfest, which is a real event in Leavenworth. Every spring, there's a major May Day celebration with a maypole and a parade and chainsaw carving and flower markets and an entire celebration to launch the return of spring and the end of the long, dark winter. Mayfest, it has a rich history, but it doesn't get celebrated many places anymore except for Germany. So Leavenworth has embraced all things Bavarian. So Mayfest is a huge event. So that's where this book takes place. In book 5, we are going to learn all of the answers about Sloane's past. And there's a little bit of news around that. One of the reasons that we're learning everything about Sloane's past is that for now, this is the last book in the series, which is not by my choice. I had written a Pacific Northwest mystery series that wrapped at 5 books because that felt right to me. But this one, sadly, is because my publisher is not going to continue this series, which makes me so sad because there's so much more that I wanted to do with Sloane. I know, Lenny. I know, it happens. We're going to talk a little bit about publishing and big publishing. And I know. We're starting off with the not so great news. But I want to break it to you because if you feel like at the end of this book, there's a lot of stuff that wraps up fast, that's because I had to fight to be able to make sure that we wrapped everything up. Hey, yo, I know, right, Jamie? If you want to have a chat, feel free. I tried. One of the issues is that this series is published in hardcover, and hardcover is a much harder sell, which I know we have talked about a zillion times on our lives, especially because it's still a cozy. Like, does it have maybe a little bit more grittiness than your traditional cozy? Maybe a scotch, but not really. At the end of the day, it's a cozy. And so I was really pushing to try to just have it go straight into paperback. But you know, big publishing is big publishing. So what are you going to do? Now, that does not mean that at some point in time, maybe sooner than later, I might continue to revive the series on my own. I'm just putting it out there. What do we do?
People are up in arms.
I know.
I can't even keep up with the comments.
I'm sorry. I'm sad too. I'm not usually a huge swearer, but there were a lot of swear words flying out of my mouth when I learned that news too. That's worth a sip of a pint. And I think it's just like, it's a good lesson too. That I have established my career as an author, and I really thought like, I was anticipating. It gives me new appreciation for TV shows that I have loved, because I know going into those, none of the writers probably think that the series is going to get ended before they were ready to have something end. So this is kind of a first for me. I tried to wrap up as much as I could. Layla, I know. I'm so sorry. I mean, if y'all want to talk to St. Martin's Macmillan, start emailing and feel free. Yeah, Wendy, I'm thinking about doing it on my own. Sweet Lemon Press is potentially going to take this series on, I think. There are pros and cons to working with a big publishing house, to doing it on your own, to being published with a small house. All of them have, honestly, like pros and cons. And we could do a whole episode for anyone who's interested in the writing side of things about like some of the pros and cons for each path to publication. But this is one of them. Like at the end of the day, even if I wanted to keep writing it, they're like, sales are not where they wanted them to be. So it gets axed. It gets a bloody murder. Sloane got a murder. But what I want to tell you is I wrapped everything up to the best of my ability in this one, while still leaving space, I think, you'll have to tell me after you read it, for Sloane to continue in some other fashion without feeling like, if you've followed along on this series, that you're going to get to the end of this one and be like, I feel so lost and let down. I think that's the thing for me from the writing perspective, because the tech guy and I have a long history with falling in love with TV shows. Sports Night is one of the first I remember. I feel like we always like fall in love with the shows that are like super smart, and we assume that everyone is loving them, and then they get canceled. Arrested Development early on, so many things. So my goal was to make sure the murder, of course, the individual murder in the book wraps up, and to close enough of Sloane's past to feel like you're satisfied and you're not left dangling. But I did in my head have a grander vision for where her bigger story was going to take us. So I'm not ruling it out. I am definitely not ruling it out that she will come back in some iteration, for sure. Okay, Jay, I'm so sorry. Well, you know, they're going to be 5. So that, honestly, that is a question that I would love to hear on your end, because now for the good news, I just signed my contract for books 16 through 18 of the Bake Shop Mysteries. So yay! There's a lot more baking to come for all of you Jules, Thomas, Carlos, Lance, Andy fans. The Bake Shop is going strong and going to continue. But I am always curious, like, if you come into a series and you know, like, okay, there are only 5, is that helpful? Like, sometimes for me, because my TBR stacks are always so big, I'm like, oh, okay, well, if I know there are 5, I can get through 5 and feel good about it. And sometimes then, if it's a long-running series like Bake Shop and where Bake Shop is going, then I feel like, oh my gosh, I have this wealth of potential long-term reading. So, like, you know, it's both. Carly says, I know what you mean. I'm slow to start a series until they seem popular enough to last a while, right? Yeah, it's totally true. So true.
There's lots of people very happy about that.
I know. I had to break the baddish news first and then give you the good news. Yeah, it's just the way the cookie crumbles. Cindy, okay, yes. So interesting question with that. I think from my perspective as a writer, because I'm a series writer and I'm sort of always working on a series. In fact, I am working on Bake Shop 16 right now, which will be the 29th mystery that I have written. And I honestly sometimes cannot believe those words are even coming out of my mouth. It doesn't seem possible. And that's not including like other side projects and spin-offs and everything else. Steph, you went from the depths of despair to sheer joy. I love it. Anyway, one of the things in writing mysteries and 29, like I just said, has been that I've had so much attention and focus because I've sort of always been on a deadline. And because of the pandemic, and then because knowing with not as much time as I would have loved to know about Sloan, but learning that Sloan was not going to continue with Macmillan, it really has freed me up to do some other projects. So this last 18 months, have worked on 3 new projects. So one is going to be women's fiction, one's going to be a rom-com, and then the tech guy and I are working on a new mystery series that we are writing together, that we're going to have more news for you on that soon. So it's like, for me, instead of chasing ever in my career, I have tried to follow the idea of letting things come to me and evolve as they do. And so sometimes that means that, a project just might not be right for the time that I am in, which is true. And then it also freed me up to do all of these other things. So yes, there is a lot of new stuff that's going to be coming in 2022. Because all of these are in the works right now. The tech guy and I are having so much fun, and Sky Guy, our kiddo, is actually going to help out with this one too, which might give you a hint of the direction that we are going with that. Lynn, you might be onto something. Anna Louise, the rom-com, the tech guy's not helping me with, well, no, we kind of talked about the rom-com. You helped me sketch out some points on it. Yeah, for sure. Jamie says, I won't release The Hounds on St. Martin's, even though I do think they should do paperbacks. I know.
Well, and these do come out in paperback just like a year later,
which is so hard too.
Yeah.
It's so hard for me, if I get invested in a series. I mean, libraries buy a lot of hardcovers, so that's always great, but nonetheless, I know. I'm sorry, Judy. It could be a Star Wars. It could have some sort of techie Sky Guy Star Warsy theme. We'll see. Lynn, the force is with you. I know. So yeah, it's like blessings and curses. You got to take it.
It's actually a great question.
We were seriously talking about that, Cherry. Isn't that so funny? I think it should be TG. You all should weigh in, but I think it should be TG. Because we will all get it. It will be our inside joke. Karen, I'm excited that you're excited for The Cure for What Ails You, and I hope you love it. And like I said, I really tried to make sure that I left space for Sloan to come back in some form. Maybe sooner than we think. I don't know. We'll see. Writing a book, creating amazing. Yeah. Well,
we can't sing.
We can't sing.
We really can't.
You cannot dance. I think I can dance, but you definitely.
I probably could. I just choose not to.
You opt not to always. My degree is in speech therapy, and I'm sure I've told this story before, but I worked in a birth to 5 program. In fact, this is also a true story. With all of sort of the supply chain and vacancies, I have been getting calls every day from recruitment firms asking me if I would come back to work in speech therapy. And I'm starting to feel like, oh gosh, maybe I should just volunteer my time to go help in the school a little bit. But I worked in a birth to 5 program with kids who had, some pretty substantial speech delays, especially at that age. Some of it was speech and language development, but a lot of it was articulation. So like S is really hard for little guys in general, but especially if you have a speech delay. And so S often becomes a T. It's called fronting. So instead of sing, it would be ting. And when I would sing the little preschool, speech songs, they would put their fingers in their ears and go, no ting, no ting, no ting. So that's how bad I am at singing. And I cannot take credit for anything in the Etsy shop except for brainstorming with the tech guy and smelling his delicious creations. Otherwise, that is all him. DDR is not a dance style tech guy. You're right, Alyssa. TG, yeah, I love it.
TG Kenobi.
TG Kenobi. I saw TG Alexander. That'd be hilarious.
Oh, that'd be funny.
I know, seriously, right? It's so bad. Aaron, your oldest is going through speech therapy. Oh, does he have a clef? I hope he's having a good experience. Or she. I hope they're having a good experience. I loved my work with the littles. In fact, we have neighbors who we just passed on a ninja line that our kiddo is way too big for, and they have young kids. And my neighbor was apologizing that sometimes if they're in the backyard, they're out screaming, and nothing makes my heart happier. I was like, oh my gosh, when I go into the kitchen and I see the boys playing in the backyard and screaming, it just makes me so happy. And then I'm like, oh, I kind of sound like I'm stalking her poor children. Yeah.
They visit you too.
What's that?
They visit you too.
They do visit, yes. They come up unannounced sometimes for visits, which does not make their mom happy, but I adore it. But I'm very good at boundaries, I say. Did you ask your mom? No, she's napping. Okay, you probably need to go back to your house and make sure that your mom knows where you are. Just little things like that. Okay, what other news did I want to talk about in terms of Sloan? Oh, I know. I don't know if anyone's going to remember what book this happened in, but in a previous... Cliffhanger. Okay. Oh, we got a lot. Oh, my goodness. TG is at it. Okay. So we've got Betty Peters. Betty, you are getting...
sorry. Yeah.
Betty Peters, you are getting a signed copy of Ale. Are these sticking together? No. Okay. Andra Weiss, you are getting a signed copy of Pint. Wendy Darling is getting Pint. And Catherine Cura is getting a copy of Pint. Woohoo! Oh, there's so much more to come, so bring it. In a previous book in the series, I had this idea because Leavenworth is a real place. It's incredible. If you have a chance, once you're traveling again, or if you're traveling again soonish, to add it to your list of places to visit, I highly recommend, especially if it's on a festival weekend. On the festival weekends, this town of 2,000 is just swamped by literally hundreds of thousands of visitors who come in for Oktoberfest and Fall Foliage Fest and Mayfest and the holiday markets. Well, we were up for Oktoberfest. We've been up many times, as we've talked about, but we were up for Oktoberfest a few years into writing this series. And I had this thought, like, what if the mayor of the town decided to make Leavenworth dry and, there would be no more beer in the Oktoberfest tents? That seems like, from a mystery writing lens, that there would be a plethora of potential suspects who might want to kill said mayor for even fathoming that Leavenworth could become dry. Okay, so that became the plot for a book in this series. And I learned today that that's really happening. The new mayor of Leavenworth has just announced that Oktoberfest next year, there will not be any beer tents.
Is it next year?
It's next year.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because
Amy, you're good.
Yeah.
You can still have a sip of a pint. Someone just asked if it's on Audible. All of Christella, yes. All of the series is coming to Audible. They all sold audio rights. So that's another thing that, yay, that's a celebration. I did not know this myself prior to writing, but in big publishing, secondary rights like audio, foreign rights, the books have sold in Japan. So they're printed in Japanese. Those are all sold separately. So I don't ever have any control over that as the author. What are you cracking up about?
Because we're like 30 to 40 seconds ahead of everyone. I'm watching all the comments come in, and you're talking about like this really exciting thing, but everybody is freaking out about there being no beer tent at Oktoberfest.
Right, okay, yeah.
And there's a lot of like, are you kidding me? That sucks. Like all this. I'm like,
know.
wait, what? Oh, okay, yeah. They haven't heard what you've said yet.
Right?
So.
I know. Megan says, no tents makes no sense. I know. I feel like somebody got a hold of that book and was like, hey, you know what?
That seems like that could
idea.
be a t-shirt for the campaign against the mayor.
That's right. Okay, audiobooks, yes. So those sell separately. So they are their own contract. The publisher. No, right? Aaron, they have Kinder beer. I know, Taylin, it doesn't quite seem like Oktoberfest. I mean, again, like I love the whole experience of Oktoberfest and the parades, and I'm not someone who goes into the tents to go crazy, but Jana, I think maybe it is pretty bizarre because when you think Oktoberfest, I'm pretty sure you think, a pint. Lonnie, yes, if they got a hold of the book, the mayor might need protection at this point in time. I know, because there have been 5 murders in Leavenworth so far. Okay, third time's the charm. Audiobooks. I don't control that as the author, so it's a whole separate department. There's a whole audio rights department. But the very exciting thing is that there was like a backlog, like a few of the books had sold, but the second half had, but all of the books are coming out on audio. So all 5 will be out on audio. And all of the Bake Shop are on audio. And in fact, I don't know if I can talk about this yet, but shoot, I should have thought this through before this came out of my mouth. But let's just say that I'll be able to share some exciting news about the Bake Shop audiobooks soon. That's what I will say. Yes. I know, I am. I'm killing the party tonight. First I have to tell you that the book is ending with this one. Well, ending for now with this one. And there's no beer at Oktoberfest, so we're gonna have to give away a lot more stuff, I guess. I am not reading them, Lonnie. Oh no, I am not. You would not want me to read them. And I really, in fact, we were going back and forth on audio, my editor and I, the other day, and I said I haven't read most or listened to them on audio because I'm too self-critical. I critique myself. I wish I had chosen different words, the whole thing. So an actor will be reading my books. That's what we'll say. Okay. So I thought tonight, moving on to the fun portion, unless you have any other questions about specifically to that, give away the mayor's phone number. I know I'm going to give away the mayor's phone number, and I don't know who it would be, like who's the head of publishing. I'll just sick everybody on it. No, not really. It's not worth it. It's all about like going where the energy's at. So that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. And, again, it's one of those experiences that's always a learning lesson for me as an author too. Good things will come out of it. Okay, so we are going to do some trivia. I already peppered in a few details that might be included in this trivia, and this trivia, as always, is just for fun. It's going to include a few little things about Leavenworth, maybe some history of Mayfest, maybe a couple of very easy book-specific questions. So this is not the kind of trivia that you needed to research or study up for, okay? How's that? Yes, there's lots of good news ahead too. Don't worry, it's all good. I have lots of things in the work and it's all going to be good. Okay, how about April Lavelin's number? Yes, let's get her on it. I am down for that. Okay, first up. Oh, I got to wait for that one to go. Do I go next screen? Yeah. Okay. Has Leavenworth always been Bavarian? You know, look at some of these covers. Clearly, we have a deep German Bavarian vibe going on. Has it always been Bavarian? I will wait a minute for that. Mary, welcome. Suyin, I'm so glad you love trivia. I do too. I've got some fun trivia planned for next month too. I'm seeing some no's. Helen, yes, it was originally a logging town. I hinted about this at the beginning. Oh, I got to go to my answer. No, the town had a total makeover in the 1960s. We learned this in Death on Tap, and I did a lot of research into the history of Leavenworth. It was originally a logging town, and when logging went away and the railroad closed up shop, the town was in deep despair. There were only a few hundred people left, and it was really run down and sad. And so a group of people partnered with the University of Washington, and they did a marketing study on what could they do to revive this small town in the middle of, you know, the mountains in Washington, and in 1960, even way more remote, right? And they came up with a plan to turn Leavenworth into a Bavarian village. And really that was because of the fact that, you know, you have these mountains behind that kind of nestle the village in. And so they came back, and everything in town to this day must meet this aesthetic. So all of the facades of every building look like this. So when you're walking through town, and it's small, I mean, you could walk it in just, you know, I don't know, a few minutes without going into all of the shops. But that changed the entire trajectory of Leavenworth. And now every year you have millions of tourists who come in to visit, and all of these festivals. And it is really, I think, interesting when you have a town that's really small, and then you have this swell of tons of people coming in, and then it shrinks again. So there's kind of that constant rhythm that's going on. Okay, next up, how many tourists? Oh, this one's tricky. I don't know. How many tourists visit Leavenworth every year?
Well, maybe you should tell them what the population of
I did. Did I just say? I think I said.
You did.
The population is 2,000, just over 2,000. But yeah. I know, Penny. Wasn't that a great idea? Renee says they're going to be in a lot or deep despair without beer at Oktoberfest next year, right? Yeah, they did need the tourists for sure. Okay, we're getting some guesses. A lot, yes. Oh, okay. Let's see.
While people are guessing.
Okay. Katina Kaiser McCain. Macaw. Pint. You get a copy of Pint. Julie Margan. I know your name, but I don't know how to say it. Margani? Is that right? Pint?
Meringue.
Oh, yeah, meringue. Thank you. Amy Mitchell, you're getting a signed copy of Pint. And Julia Martin, you're getting a signed copy of Pint. Okay. 10,000. Taylin says 500,000. 7,500 lots. I like it, Beth. I like it. Fonda. Oh, Fonda. Hi. I hope you're doing well with working in the hospital and everything. Hopefully it's slowing down and you're taking care of yourself. Judy, 30,000. Okay, go higher even than that. Cherry, wait, I think I saw it. Go back up. Ooh, Sarah Orlowski, 2 million. Yeah, 2 million. So you go from a town that normally has 2,000 people to having 2 million tourists come in over the course of a year. I mean, that's just stunning to me. For sure. 2 million. Oh yeah, thanks. I'm not doing my job. Okay. Next question. Oh, this one's interesting. This one I kind of pulled out of the hat because I actually had an idea of where book 6 was going to go, and this might be book 6. Leavenworth is the only mountain town on the West Coast with this. Does anybody know what it could be? It's the only mountain. I'm going to emphasize mountain. It's the only mountain town on the West Coast that has this. Sabina, that mayor is crazy, right? I know. I can't believe it. I'm going to share that story tomorrow because I'm still shocked by it. I can't believe it. No beer. Amy, they won't get 2 million people with no beer. I think you might be right about that. Aaron, a volcano. Ooh, no ski resort. Carl's guess is whitewater rafting. There is rafting in Leavenworth, for sure. Ski slopes. There are ski slopes. There are goats.
It's another volcano. Yeah, the volcano's a little bit.
Yeah, I know.
A lot farther south.
That was part of our youth when Mount St. Helens erupted. I thought I saw it. A hot springs. I don't know if there's a hot springs nearby. Oh yes, I see it. Wait, hold up. Carly, a ski jump. Yes, it is the only place. Oh, sorry, we both did that at the same time. It's the only mountain town on the West Coast that has a functional working ski jump. And if you are a skier or a snow lover, or you just want to have an adventure and you're not worried about breaking toes by falling down stairs like me, you too, if you visit Leavenworth, can use and try the ski jump. Isn't that cool? Yeah. Dayland, a functioning town. Oh no. I'm going to get so much hate after tonight. Poor publishing houses and Leavenworth. Yes, it's very cool. The ski hill is really close to town. It's definitely worth visiting, of course, in the winter, but also in the summer. It's just really beautiful. And oh, Lillian, my toes are feeling better. I'm still, not quite up to walking speed at full force yet, but yeah, what are you gonna do? Okay, moving on. We've got, is the Nutcracker Museum from the books real? So in the series, Sloane talks about the Nutcrackers in town and the Nutcracker Museum and shop. There's even a whole theme of nutcrackers in one of the books that I won't go into because I don't want to give away any spoilers for some of you who are new to the series, which is super exciting. Now you know you've got 5. You got 5 for now. I do need to be in bubble wrap. It's true. I had coffee. Oh. Okay. Cherry Gilcrest Northcrest crust cut. Sorry, I can't read your writing. It's definitely his writing. It's not my pronunciation. You're getting a copy, Cherry. You're getting ale. Yay. The Nutcracker Museum. Let's see. I'm seeing a lot of sure. Why not? It should be. Yes. Right, Marie? Mm-hmm. We love the Nutcrackers. Jana's hoping it is. Yes. That's the name of your daughter's nickname for marching band, the Nutcrackers. That's good. I like that, Lillian. That's awesome. Yes. Okay. The answer is yes, it is real. It is definitely real. It is a lot of nutcrackers. It's quite a sight for the eyes when you go in because it's just nutcrackers as far as you can see. And every nutcracker you can imagine, and then some. Many that I would never imagine. Let's be real. There were Star Wars nutcrackers. True? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. My follow-up question to this, and I did not know this on my own, so I learned this while writing the series, so I'm not going to hold anyone against it, but I will be very impressed if anybody happens to guess. How many nutcrackers do you think are on display at said museum? Let's see. Oh, I got to wait for them to come in.
There we go.
Okay. Chelsea's thinking 25,000. Betty's thinking 750. Oh, Fonda too. There's a 750 theme. 2,000. 1,000. 1,000,000, Trisha. I like it. That would be amazing. It's not 1,000,000. You got to go lower than that. But I don't know. They probably have 1,000,000 in storage somewhere. Yeah. Why would you have any idea? It's okay, Jacoby. I feel you. That's very specific in that. I love that. I love that enthusiasm. Plus a half. Like you need and one that's broken in half or one that has a head missing. All right. Should I do it? Oh, Renee Wilson, you're very close. It is over. Oh no, you are close. I was thinking it was 75. 7,000. Yes. It's over 7,000 nutcrackers. 7,000 nutcrackers. Does anyone have a nutcracker collection? I mean, I have a handful of nutcrackers for the holidays. I think mainly that have been passed down, but 7,000 nutcrackers, that's a lot of nutcrackers. That's so many.
Even Star
Way
Wars
too many, Marty
nutcrackers.
says. That's what I said. I can't remember. Was it a Darth Vader? I think there was like a whole collection.
Stormtrooper,
Yeah.
everything.
Mm-hmm. Right? Kimberly, you have a few. Chelsea, you do? Okay. But do you have 7,000? Yeah, 4 or 5, Renee. That's more like it. Oh, Anna, of course. I have 2 and one is the Darth Vader. I love it.
Me
Christella.
too. I had Boba Fett and Darth Vader.
Christella, you have a shot glass collection, but that doesn't count. It could. Why not? Joseph, your mom has almost that many nativity sets. What does she do? Where does she put them in the house? I need more information about this. That's amazing.
Well, wait a second. That's amazing. Christella is shaking Barack Obama's hand right there.
Oh, Christella.
That is awesome.
I love it. Okay, let's see. I do a tree. Chelsea, you do a tree with nutcracker ornaments. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Well, a couple hundred, Joseph? Holy smokes. That is so many.
Wow.
Okay. We're going to need pictures. We're going to need pictures of all of these, everybody. All right, moving on. What is the official beer of Germany? We know that there is no beer anymore in Leavenworth, so we got to go to Germany for this one. Trisha, my nephew was born on Christmas Eve, so every year for his birthday, my mom gets him a nutcracker. So far, he has 30. All right, yeah, that's a sweet little tradition too. I love that. I know. I love seeing the answers too. These are great. Priscilla, you got to meet him after winning your Paralympic bronze medal in Rio. It was such an awesome experience. He's so super cool. He's the absolute coolest. But
shook Barack Obama's hand and you won a bronze medal?
Yeah,
That is, wow.
A bronze medal. What did you compete in?
That gets an applause.
Yeah, that gets an applause. That probably, 100%. That gets an applause and that gets an audiobook. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to get audiobook samples. So I will email you one. So when the night is over, for everyone who has won copies of books, and for you, Christella, for an audio copy, you are going to send a private message to my Facebook. And don't do it now, but after the live is over, send a private message with your name, your mailing address, all that good stuff. And make sure you do that, because sometimes on the lives, it's hard because I can't message people directly through an author platform.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It depends on everybody's privacy settings.
Exactly. So sometimes we'll look and try to find you. So make sure that you send me a private message with your mailing address at the end. Okay. So many guesses. Let's see. Lagers. Golden lagers. Hell's a Dunkel, a Pilsner. Yes, love it. Okay, you're all close, but if you can believe it, it's actually Oktoberfest beer, which I can't say with a German accent. Somebody should say that for me, which is technically any beer brewed by one of the 6 Munich breweries and served at an official Oktoberfest tent in Germany, in Munich. Can you believe that? I had no idea. No idea whatsoever.
That's a good answer.
Butterbeer, yeah, Kathy. Bring it on. Jennifer, something German, yes. I love it. Yeah, so that is the actual formal traditional German beer. Can you believe it? Jeannie, oh, I lost it. She said, I think she tried German beers. I must have tried 100 while in Germany. They couldn't believe I didn't like beer. They said I hadn't found the right one yet. Okay, so the question is, did you ever find one you liked? That is the pressing question. Okay, let's see. I'm still looking for Christella's answer. What is the most popular German dessert? Sloan does a lot of baking with beer in this series, and this series didn't end up getting recipes, again, because of hardcover. When I started writing it, in fact, up until like we had gone through, I think, copy edits and maybe we were even at page proofs, I realized, oh, we're not doing recipes because it's in hardcover. So I have a lot of recipes that I've baked over the years that I imagine that Sloan would be baking. And this definitely is featured in the series. I'm seeing some German chocolate cake. I'm seeing some kugel. I'm seeing a Black Forest cake. I'm seeing a lot of strudel, apple strudel. Who can pronounce that? Can you say it, Tech Guy?
Apple strudel?
Apple strudel? I don't know. Maybe. Yes, it is apple strudel. Ooh, Stollen. My mom used to make a Stollen every year at Christmas. Oh, amazing. I'm going to need to try that this year. Actually, I think maybe we did one for one of our bakes. I can't remember. We've done so many holiday bakes. German chocolate cake is always great. But believe it or not, oh, soft pretzels with chocolate sauce. Yeah. It's streusel. It's apple strudel. Oh, okay, Trisha. Apfel strudel. Am I doing it right? I love it. Okay. Why is Mayfest celebrated? I talked about this at the beginning. For those of you who were paying attention, you're going to know, not that there's really anything other than your own bragging rights. But bragging rights are always good, right? What is Mayfest? Why is it celebrated? Do tell. I loved researching all of the flower crowns and markets. Does anyone remember when I was growing up, my campfire troop and I, we would make little May Day baskets out of like just construction paper. You'd make a V and then you'd cut a strip and staple it together. And especially in the Northwest, lilacs were always in bloom, and we had lilac and rhododendron in our yard. So I remember we would cut lilacs, fresh lilacs and rhodies, put them in our little paper baskets and go around the neighborhood and put them on everyone's doors for May Day, for Mayfest. And I always thought that was a thing. And then as I grew up, I realized it's not something that everyone did. Yes, the welcome of spring after the long, dark winter. Good job, Gretchen. I think that was verbatim what I said. Yes. It's to celebrate the beginning of spring. The flowers are blooming. The snow has melted. It's a huge celebration of the season. Absolutely. Love it. Yes, you guys are good. Of course you had this. Ty, you put baskets out on doors too, right? Did anyone else? Wendy, you made baskets with the plastic strawberry basket. Oh, like the old school. Yes, yes, yes. I can imagine that with a little loop over it. We need to revive that. Let's make a pact that next May Day we all do this again, because I always thought it was like the sweetest thing. And who doesn't love getting just like a little sweet basket of flowers on your porch? Come on, bring it on. Oh, okay. Marcy Arman, you are getting a copy of The Cure for What Ails You. Love it. You made them. Okay, yay. Oops. Keep going. One more.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Why do villagers dance around the maypoles? Does anyone know this little tidbit of history? I'm super curious. Christella, let's send baskets to your publishers telling them to bring Sloan back. Yeah, do it. I love it. It was such a sweet tradition. I loved it. Christella, did you ever tell us what you competed in? I need to know now. This is going to keep me up tonight. She did? Okay.
Judo.
Judo. Wow. That's so impressive. And a bronze medal. So my next question is, well, you're just going to need to be a guest on one of my lives. We're just going to have to do that because I have so many questions about competing in the Olympics. To bring rain. As a pagan, you don't want me to celebrate May Day in public. Is it Elisa or Alyssa? I know, right? There may have been some nudity involved historically. Maple syrup to ward off evil spirits, fertility. Yes, absolutely. To wrap ribbons around the maypole. Yes. To celebrate the goddess. Absolutely. Thanking the goddess Flora. I have lots of goddesses on this group. I love it. Yes. Okay. So it's a combination of bringing in good luck. It's the season of fertility, the goddess energy, all of those beautiful things, the lengthening of days. I shortened it to good luck, but there are so many just beautiful rituals around the idea of celebrating that I definitely think we should all be back in touch with. Okay, and then my last two questions to wrap up our so intense trivia is, what is the name of the Kraus family brewery in the series? This is Mac. I don't know why I was saying Garrett at the beginning. This is Mac, Sloane's soon-to-be ex-husband, his family brewery. I have a funny story about that too. I love it. You all know, you're so good. Der Keller all the way. Der Keller. So I had called the brewery De Keller the whole way through book one, through Death on Tap. And then the copy editor came through and was like, oh, it should actually be Der. And my editor at the time, she has moved on to another publishing house, but we went back and forth because all we could hear in our head when we were like Der was like some sort of like Homer Simpson or something. I hated it. Whenever I heard it in my head, I was like, Der, oh, Der Keller. But I have grown to love it. Now it's Der Keller, and it flows off my tongue better. And that's definitely something that I'm going to need to make sure that I talk to the audiobook actor on, because it's got to be the right kind of Der. It can't be like a Der. It's got to be a Der. I spend way too much time listening to how things sound in my head, obviously. I'm sure my first grade teacher knew none of those reasons, right, Megan? I know. Oops, spell check, right? Oh, Kayla, I did not know that. Der in German is said like der Keller. Oh, that's even better. This whole time I probably should have Googled that and done a voice for it. Thank you for that little gem. Oh, so funny. Helen, we had to stop the maypole in school because of too many injuries. What? That's also, we need to know more about that too. I can imagine. We also had, we had those swings like that. Did you have those in your playground growing up? The swings that are almost like circular? Maybe it was that.
Might have been, yeah.
Okay, and last but not least, what is the name of the nano brewery that Sloane helps launch in Leavenworth? We'll wait for it. Yeah, I'm going to have to pass that on. Thank you for that, Jem. Are you learning something? That's so great. I love it. In sign language, wait, Diana was like, in sign language, it could be like deer or, I can't remember the sign for deer. I feel like it's something like that, but that's funny. Yeah, it could be like deer or sweet, maybe. Nitro, yes. Yes, nitro. And that's a little nod to the tech guy and his brewery, his home brewing, because especially up in Portland, there are some places here in Southern Oregon, but there was like a big trend right when I was starting the series that you could have these special beers served on nitro, which is like the smoothest carbonation possible. So if you haven't had a beer on nitro, it comes out looking like
The bubbles are smaller.
The bubbles are smaller, but
but that's what makes it creamy.
Right, but the foam looks like the cream on top of like an espresso or something, not like the foamy foam you get on a beer. That's the technical term for it, the foamy foam. It is nitro. You're so good. Naomi Moondragon, you're getting a signed copy of Pint. Love it. Oh, that's the end of my... Oh, there's more. He's still going. Allison Talbot. Allison, you are getting a signed copy of Ale. Do you have another one for me? No, he was giving me that look. All right, so not thick foam. Yeah, it's so weird. It's they tend to be more with like a stout too. Am I right about that? Don't you think? Yeah.
They do IPAs and stuff on nitro, but it's not right in my opinion.
In your humble opinion,
Right.
It's definitely not right. My grandma used to tell me the foam was ice cream. I believed her. Oh no. How old were you, Lillian? That's hilarious. Oh, Lillian, I see in her picture she's wearing her Cozy Vibes t-shirt. How cute is that? We've got Obama tonight and Cozy Vibes and the Goddess. It's like the best night ever. Penny Stout is your favorite? I'm super impressed. I have learned to love like a dark IPA, which is as close as I can get to stout. I can do like a sip or two of stout, but whew, I don't know. Lillian, you were around 6 years old. That's hilarious. Well, that's one way to keep you from drinking beer, right? You just won book 13 of The Bake Shop from Cozy Escapes. Yay! That's awesome, Taylin. I hope you enjoy it. That's Mocha she wrote. Love it. Annette says, I don't like beer. It tastes like dirty sweat socks. Maybe you just haven't had the right beer, right? Maybe you just needed to go to Germany. Like, did we ever hear if Andrea or Andra, we were going to know whether she found a beer she liked. Anyway, maybe you need to go to Germany and just try like 1,000 beers. When I was working on the fourth book, for this, I met this amazing female beer tender. She calls herself a beer tender at a brewery here in Southern Oregon that has now gone out of business. They were great. They were just a small little startup, but I think COVID and everything, they didn't make it. But she was great because she made it her personal mission. Anyone who came into the bar and said that, or came up to the bar, it wasn't a bar, it was just a brewery, but who came up to her bar and said that I don't like beer, she would find a beer. And she swore up and down that she had never had anyone leave who she hadn't found something that they liked. So I don't know. Maybe.
Are you talking about Swing Tree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michelle, Guinness on tap in Dublin. I mean, come on. How lucky are you to have that in Dublin? I'm so jealous. Of course it's delicious. I would do that. If I were in Dublin, I would definitely do it. Kimberly, you started going on microbrewery tours with your hubby and you fell in love. Yay, I love it. Anna Louise, you're doing pumpkin beer. The tech, I just ordered some pumpkin beers. That's where he's at. He's got some in the fridge waiting for him. Let's see. Okay. Super fun hangout as always with everyone tonight. To wrap up, just remember, if you won a book, send me a private message with your mailing info so I can sign them and send them out into the world, into your pretty hands. Thanks for, Kimberly, you're just making me say hard names. Schwaluk. You're getting a signed copy of Ale. And Jacoby Riggins, you're getting a signed copy of Ale. Yay! Oh. Love it. Is the tech guy Garrett? He's got some Garrett vibes to him. Yeah, he's definitely got some Garrett in him, I think. Yeah, he could be. Okay, let's see. What's coming up next? Are you doing that? Oh, Without a Brew. I think that's old. That's out in paperback, though. Oh, sorry. I did the wrong one. Oh, there it is. Okay. Bake, Borrow, and Steal book 14 of the Bake Shop Mysteries is coming out in December. And as I just mentioned, I'm working on book 16. And we know that series is definitely going at least through book 18, if not longer. So there's lots more baking to come. So That's my gift to all of you, as well as some new audio stuff. So stay tuned for that one. Actually, if you're a Jules fan and you're thinking you might want a copy, please pre-order. It's going to help our independent bookstores so much this holiday season because of all of the paper shortages. So please, please, please pre-order a copy if you're thinking about getting your hands on it, or reserve one for from your library, etc., etc.
Mainly because it's gonna, like, shipping and everything is gonna be a nightmare.
Shipping is going to be a challenge. Small bookstores, I've shared this before, but what stock they get in is probably what they're going to get in. There are big delays on reprints. So a lot of times what will happen is the publisher will do an initial run of, let's say, 5,000 or 10,000 copies. Those sell out and they immediately go into a second printing. Well, those second printings are being delayed by 3 to 6 months. So do that for any books that you have on your wish list this holiday season. And then in terms of what's coming next for lives, we have next week I'm going to share what's on my cozy read stack, and I have some fun warm holiday fallish drink recipes that I imagine Andy would be making. They're not all coffee. On October 19th, I'm doing an event with Rediscovered Books, so that will be on their social channels. We're going to have a Halloween party on October 26th. I'm going to do a writer Q&A to kick off November, because for any of you who are thinking about writing a book, November is National Write a Novel Month, NaNoWriMo, so it seems like a good way to kick things off. I haven't decided yet for November 9th that there might be a guest. It's still in the works. And then November 16th, we're going to preview Bake, Borrow, and Steal. I've got some insider information to share with you on what's coming next in this new round of bake shops. And I think that's it. It's always such a joy and delight to get to spend the night with you. Please say there will be more Sloan books coming down the pike. I'm hooked. I would be terribly depressed. Oh, Sue, I know, right? Me too. I don't know. I mean, there won't be from Macmillan, from my current publisher, but I am definitely not ruling out that I might not do them myself or find some other home for them. We'll see. I have ideas for where I want to take Sloan. I had a plan. I had a grander plan for where I thought Sloan was going. So we'll see. But I hope you enjoy this one. Taylin, November 9th would be where I share my favorite cozies. Oh, I could do that. We also talked about doing a kitchen thing, Lynn. So yeah, we're always open for suggestions. Yeah, I'm down for that. Anyway,
maybe we get all the cameras to work this time.
I so appreciate your support. Thank you for,
as do I.
Yeah, being such an amazing group of friends and readers and all the coziness. I know it's a bitter pill to swallow, but it always makes me feel good, and I appreciate that you're sad too about Sloan, because ultimately I am sad. But I hope you enjoy this one. And there is lots more in the pipeline of other stuff to come. So on that note.
Wait, but what? Did you talk about why it's TBD now?
Oh, no, I was supposed to do that. That's right. I forgot. So much good stuff going on.
I have so many things going on. I haven't heard everything. So okay. I just want to make sure.
The reason it's TBD is because we were going to do the holiday Etsy launch party that night. But let me just say this, there are a few little straggling items left, not straggling, but there are a few little fall items left in the Etsy shop that the tech guy has made, but they might want to get them soon, yes?
Yeah, the last couple of things I think are on sale because...
Because why?
I may or may not have been down in my workshop listening to Christmas music while So I've officially moved over to the holiday season. Let's just put it that way. So the announcement will be coming a lot sooner.
You're claiming that's because of shipping delays and blah, blah, blah. But that's his perfect excuse. Perfect. I love it.
We don't have one to put up on the screen. If you search for Ellie Alexander author on Etsy, you'll see the Etsy shop there, but I can add it to the post after.
For sure.
Yeah.
Thank you all for being with us and helping me send another book out into the world. I couldn't adore you more. Happy reading, and I'll see you soon.